Welcome to Ace's Top 10 Takeaways, and today I'm here to go over with you the top 10 takeaways of mastering your habits. What if I told you to write down your 5 worst habits that you have right now, and I'll make them disappear from your life? And then what if I told you to write down your top 5 habits that you want to create in your life, and I'll make them pop in your life? What would you do, or what would you pay for that? Well, today I'm here to go over with you how to cut your worst habits and how to create your best habits and the techniques and strategies to do that. So be in a peaceful, quiet area and get ready for your habits and your life to transform. Takeaway number 1, the small things all add up. There was a world-class biking team that was number 1. And when they asked this team, how are you number 1? They told them all the small things add up. All the way from the kind of oil we put on the tires before we ride the bikes, what we wear before we get on the bikes, what muscles we worked out the day before the race, and how we relaxed our muscles after the race, and a bunch of other things. They said all these small things are the reason they're number 1. It's the same exact thing with our habits. You can't go to the gym for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, and then expect to be shredded the 5th or 6th day. Usually it takes months and months and maybe even years and years to see your results. And same exact way with our bad habits. You could drink every single day for a year and maybe nothing will happen. But 10, 15 years down the line, you might have a bad liver. Same thing with smoking cigarettes. So all these bad habits and good habits, it's important to understand they don't come overnight. These small things are going to add up over time and either hurt us or help us. So think about the habits you have in your life right now and write down on a piece of paper in 1 year, in 5 years, in 10 years, what are the results of these small little habits that you do every single day going to get you in results in the future? And once you figure out those habits, figure out the ones that are going to hurt you, and we're going to work on cutting those out. Figure out the ones that are going to help you, and we're going to work on being patient and consistent in these habits to get better. And then know what kind of habits that you're performing every single day in your life. Habits are like a sword. The good ones help cut you through, and the bad ones end up cutting you. Takeaway number 2, forget about your goals and focus on your systems. Look, winners and losers have the same goals. The only difference is the winners have a system to back their goals. The losers just throw out these high goals out there, they don't attain them, they end up failing, and they move on and never try them again. But the winners make a system that becomes automatic so they don't have to think about that goal anymore and it's attained for life. Think about cleaning your room. If I told you to clean your room tomorrow and that was your goal, you got up in the morning, you cleaned your room, beautiful, you accomplished your goal. But what happens the next day when your room's not clean again? That's a loser's mentality when accomplishing a goal. A winner, however, would make a system for cleaning their room. They would wake up an hour early every single day at this time and the room would be clean for life. Look, it's not about playing the game. It's about playing the game for life. And winners understand that systems back up their goals, and systems all that's important. So stop just focusing on your goals and start focusing on your system and the process of getting to that goal instead. The more systems you have, the less thought it takes. The less thought it takes, the more you can focus on other things. The more you can focus on other things, the more goals you accomplish. Forget about your goals, create your systems. Takeaway number 2. Takeaway number 3, your habits are your identity. If you ask 2 people that are trying to quit smoking, do you want a cigarette? And the first person tells you, no thanks, I'm trying to quit. But the second person tells you, no thanks, I'm not a smoker. Which line is more powerful? It's a no thanks, I'm not a smoker. That person there changed your identity to not being a smoker at all. The first person still told you that they're trying to quit and their identity is still half a smoker. You have to change your identity if you want to change your habits. It's not about what you want to do, it's about who you want to become. So a simple exercise for you is look in the mirror and ask yourself, who do you want to become? Who is this person you want to be in the future? If this was a superhero movie, and right now in this movie was the climax where you changed and became the superhero of your own movie, how would that person look? And then ask yourself, what kind of habits would that person have? Would they have the bad, shitty habits that you're doing right now, or would they have only the good habits? Once you figure out who that person is, make sure you make it loud and clear that that is your identity. You're no longer trying to quit. You're no longer trying to lose weight. You're no longer trying to be successful. You are successful. You are healthy. And you're not a smoker. These are the kind of things that will start triggering your brain and giving you the right identity to other folks that look at you. So it's not about your habits. It's about your identity. Figure out who you want to be and become that person. Takeaway number 3. Takeaway number 4. Kill the cue to every single habit. Every single habit has 4 steps and it always starts with a cue. A cue is something that triggers your mind to want to do that habit. For example, let's say you're studying and your phone alarm goes off for your cell phone. You pick up your phone, that's the cue because the sound went off. The second step is the craving. Because you heard the sound of the phone, now your mind is craving to read whatever is in that phone. The third step is the response. You heard the cue, you got the craving, now how do you respond to it? Do you grab your phone or do you leave it alone? And the fourth cue is the reward. If you grabbed your phone, you unlocked it, now the reward is you get to read what's exactly in that message and your brain gets the dopamine it gets. So how do you kill this? If there's a dinosaur running at you with all four legs, how do you kill the dinosaur? You cut the legs. You got to cut the cue on every single habit. So an example of doing this is, if I'm studying and I don't want to look at my phone and my phone goes off, and I know that I got that cue in my brain and I'm about to get the craving, I cut the legs off the cue. I put my phone on silent, I toss the phone to the corner, and I go back in that book and start studying. That's one example of it. So think about all the bad habits you got. What's the first cue that triggers your mind to want those habits? Cut those legs, kill the cue. Takeaway number 5, make a scorecard. Over time, we keep doing the same exact habits over and over again, and we probably don't even realize they're habits. Like somebody that covers their mouth when they laugh, they probably don't realize they're doing that. Or someone that bites their nails when they're nervous, they probably also don't realize they're doing that over time. These things keep happening and we just forget about them and they become part of our identity. So how do you stop these things, or how do you identify these things? You make a scorecard. Every single day you probably do 10 to 20 of the same exact things that are habits in your life that you don't even notice. For example, you wake up, you brush your teeth, you gel your hair, you shower, you get dressed, you come to work, you listen to this, whatever it is. Just for one day I'm asking you, write down every single thing that you do. Every single thing that you do is either a positive outcome in your life or a negative outcome, just like every single habit. So after you log and write down every single thing you do for one day, put a plus sign or a negative sign by each single thing. At the end of the day, tell me if you got a positive return on your day and your investment or a negative return on your day and investment. Then we evaluate it and see which habits you have to cut out. If you're ending up in a negative at the bottom, you got a big problem that we got to fix. If you're ending up in a positive, how can we make that positive even bigger? But if you're doing nothing and not evaluating, then you're driving around in life blind. So make a scorecard, track your daily habits, and see if you come up in the positives or the negatives. Takeaway number 5. Takeaway number 6, planning leads to doing. There was 3 groups trying to go to the gym and they did a study on these 3 groups. The first group, they told them to go at this time and pick whatever gym you want. The second group, they said go to this gym but pick whatever time you want to go. And the third group, they said go to this gym at this time, at these days, and do these exercises. A month later, they got the research back and they did the study and they realized that the group that had the most specific plan, where they told them what time to go, which gym to go, and what to do, had 91% participation. The other 2 groups had less than 50% participation. So the conclusion here is very simple. The planner always wins. The more specific you can make your plan, the more likely you are to do it. The less specific you make your plan, the more things are going to derail you and get in your way. So here's what I want you to do. Think about one habit that you want to bring into your life. And then tell yourself what day are you going to do this habit? What time are you going to do this habit? How are you going to do this habit when you do it? And let people know, write it out, and schedule it. Then you're more likely to do it. The planner always wins. Takeaway number 6. Takeaway number 7, connect the habit you want to form with your daily actions. So we talked about this in takeaway number 5. There's things you do every single day, the same exact repetitive things. So if you take your new habit you want to form and you connect it to something you do every single day, it's going to be a lot more easier to attain those habits. For example, if your new habit you want to form is to meditate, and you pour coffee every single day as a daily action, imagine you put a speaker with your meditation music right by the coffee. Now every single morning when you woke up and poured the coffee, you seen the speaker and it reminded you to meditate. Now you could take 5 minutes, meditate while your coffee gets warm. Imagine you took that and you did it with everything that you do every single day. You want to drink more water, you put a gallon by the toothbrush. Every single day when you go to brush your teeth, you see the gallon, oh, got to drink some water. You drink some water, now that's a new habit that you're going to form. So this takeaway is genius. It's a neuro hack to trick your brain into doing things. So it's very simple. Write down the habits you want to form. On the right side, write down the things you do every single day, connect the 2 together, and watch your habits transform. Takeaway number 7. Takeaway number 8, your habits live inside your environment. Think about it right now. If you want to create a new habit to eat healthy in your life, but you come home every single day and you got a jar of cookies on the kitchen counter, how does that environment link up with the new habit that you have? It all goes back to the identity piece that we talked about. You want to become this superhero. You want to become this new identity. Well, what kind of environment does this superhero surround themselves with? Every single habit you're trying to attain, think about the environment that it is surrounding this habit and make sure the environment matches up with it. If you're trying to eat healthy, get rid of all the junk food out of your environment and only surround yourself with healthy goods. If you're trying to drink a lot of water, put water everywhere in your environment. If you're trying not to smoke, cut out all the smokers, stop hanging out in smoking locations, etc. Think about your habits you want to form. Think about the environments that go along with these good habits and start surrounding yourself in those environments. Takeaway number 8. Takeaway number 9. Get crazy or get obsessed with your habits. Anything that was done that was great in life was not easy. So it's okay to be obsessed and get crazy about your habits. If you want to stop eating food after a certain point of time in the day, empty your house out from all the food. If you want to stop watching TV, unplug every single TV off your wall and put it in the garage for a week. Kanye West locked himself in a room to finish an album. I hear about great writers that lock themselves in cabins to finish books. People get obsessed and get crazy to accomplish your habits. What have you done so far to get crazy or obsessed with your habit? Are you even obsessed? Have you even ever went crazy about a habit? How bad do you really want it then? Write down the most important habit to you right now that it is that you want to form and get crazy about that habit. Get obsessed with that habit. Because after 1 week or 2 weeks of craziness and being obsessed, it's now a real habit in your life that you don't have to think about again. So takeaway number 9 is simple. Get crazy and be obsessed with your habits. Takeaway number 10, everything in life connects. So once you start doing these exercises that we went over today and start forming good habits, you know what's going to happen? You're going to form more good habits. Because once you see that one good habit works, you're going to form the next good habit and the next good habit. And pretty soon you are going to be that superhero that you want to be in that movie. And vice versa. If it works the opposite way and you form a bad habit, that's going to form into another bad habit and another bad habit. So you got to ride the wave. The other day I went to the gym after work and it was a small decision I made. But after I made that decision, I went home and I didn't eat, and that was the second good decision I made. And the third good decision was I slept early right after I went home. And the fourth good decision was I woke up early and I went to the gym again that next morning. And the fifth good decision was I came into work early. And then at that point I was just riding the momentum and the good decision waves. So once you start doing these things and you see that it works, I promise you, you will build your own momentum. Don't fall on the opposite end of that and start doing bad things as well, because you'll fall on a bad wave of momentum. So make sure you know that with every small win you get, you could build on another one and another one and another one. And when you got that wave going, do not let it down. Ride that wave to the very end. And if it ever does fall down, pick it back up and start again. As long as you know, as the more waves you ride and the more good momentum you build, the more positive the force will be. You got to just build that positive force. So it's time to become that superhero, and it all starts with one good habit today. So what's that first habit going to be for you? Takeaway number 10. Thank you for watching and listening to the top 10 takeaways of how to master your habits. I made this video or this podcast for you today because a few years ago, I found myself surrounded in bad habits. And I really didn't know how to attack them. Once I learned how to attack them and I started killing all the bad habits and starting good habits, the momentum that built in my life and the fact that I got an opportunity to become the superhero that I wanted to be changed my life for the better. And now I'm witnessing people that are going through the same exact thing with bad habits surrounding them. And they don't even know it's bad habits. They see it as just daily actions now. So I want to give you an opportunity to get out. I want to give you an opportunity to become the superhero in your movie. Because everybody out there in life can become what they want to be, and you only get one shot at this. We need to stop wasting our time. So like, subscribe, and share this channel with anybody you love. Figure out the identity and the superhero you want to be. Start slashing those bad habits. Start creating those good habits. And it all starts with one. The momentum will build after that. It's the Acez. We're doing this all for you. Thanks so much for watching and listening today.